You already know who I am. Okay. So it's been a while since I done a YouTube video. I know. Been pretty much busy throughout all the week with work, like hanging out with pretty much family, and pretty much about work. So a lot of time I play L.A Noire. When I was stuck in the fucking cave. So you see, I got packed it, and I just got done figuring out the coin puzzle. The coin puzzle, so
locked. We need another way in. Can you drive to this one? Do we know where we're going? What are you doing? See him?
That's the guy from the papers. Solved that big case. A nice thing about egotists, they don't talk about other people. Hey, don't mind me.
Fine. But if the skipper sees us driving around in this, we're dead. How are we going to look getting around in this thing, Cole? You gotta be kidding me. We're driving this?
Yeah. Yeah, fuck the game, man. Start to play it because it won't game I haven't beat yet. I actually figuring it out. Fucking finally.
Look where you're going! Thank God we're not in my car.
got way too into the game. So
Christ alive, this is a nightmare!
Fine. But if the skipper sees us driving around in this, we're dead.
What are you doing?
I'm stumped. Ideas?
So how do we get in? Check around the back.
Full house. Kings over fives. God damn it. You win one more hand, Andy.
Cover the
I'm
back
taking
door,
my
Roy.
money and going home. And fuck whose turn it is to mind shop.
Hey, what can I say? I got lucky.
Bullshit. You
Throw
know
out the guns.
I'm gonna catch you at it before the night is out. Now deal.
Hey, who the fuck is that?
Stay down. You okay?
I'll tell you when I see what's waiting for us at the top.
Weapons on the ground, now! Can't control it! Find some cover!
I fucking shot him.
You okay?
I'll tell you when I see what's waiting for us at the top.
Throw out the guns.
You're fucking
Find some cover! Pins on the ground, now!
This one's got your name on it.
Get in cover! LAPD, hands up!
Victor Sanders.
You know this guy?
I should have known.
Of course I know Roy. Roy and I have had an arrangement for
Get up.
many years.
You're under arrest.
Am I?
We have a mountain of prima facie evidence, as well as the
You'd
testimony.
be surprised how things have a habit of sorting themselves out. Evidence disappearing. Witnesses that can't be found. Policemen that forget. The impossible becomes probable when you have a client list like mine.
Shut your mouth. Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
Working vice can be a thankless task, Phelps. But on behalf of the brass and the moms and dads and the concerned citizens, I'd like to commend you and your partner for smashing this dope ring. Reefer is almost as big a threat to the children of this city as communism.
What about Sanders, Lieutenant?
Leave Sanders to me, Phelps. The chief will be looking after that one personally.
He will be brought to trial.
Phelps, we are celebrating your success. Don't push your luck. Sanders is no longer your problem.
Oh, man.
Your platoon is what remains of recon. I'm folding you into the 22nd. You'll be going up that damned hill tonight.
We're intelligence gathering, sir.
I don't need intelligence, son. I need men who can hold rifles and kill Japs. Tonight, you're a rifle company. We've got cooks, mechanics, and stretcher bearers all going into the line. We aim to break them tonight, Lieutenant.
Good to see you, Hank.
You too, Cole. How's your war?
Not quite what I
So, a war veteran
As long as I live. I will never
in 1940s.
Hey, who's that medic? He'll be killed going out there.
It's Sheldon, the guy from the Altakawa Bridge. That guy's got no fear.
He didn't make it.
I didn't go out there to save him.
What are you saying, man?
I went out there to put him out of his misery, to ease his pain. Do you have a problem with that?
Murder, Corman.
That's war, Lieutenant. Smell the stench. Feel the horse's breath on your neck.
You need help, man.
Call for me tonight, Lieutenant. When you're up on that hill. I've been up there 3 times already. The circles of hell have nothing on Sugarloaf Hill.
Get this madman out of my sight!
Ah, shit.
You like the fight game, Phelps? I did a little boxing in the Marines. I found it a pretty humbling experience.
Fix you a sandwich, buddy. Corned beef and egg salad, 12 cents. Bologna and ham and cheese, 10.
It's strictly a mug's game. You'll like this fight, though. A plucky limey's about to take a beating from an up-and-coming Negro.
You sound pretty sure about the result.
I ought to be. I got $50 on the black kid. Let's get a ringside seat. That son of a bitch Hammond made a run for his dressing room. Let's find out what's going on.
God damn you, Albert! You get out here right now!
Step back! LAP. What's going on?
That son of a bitch Hammond has jammed the door.
And who are you?
Carlo Arcaro. I'm his manager.
I'm his trainer.
Interesting attitude to have towards a victorious athlete.
Victorious? We had an arrangement. We had a goddamn arrangement!
That limey bastard was paid to take a nap. He reneged.
And you were out of pocket?
Damn right. Me and a couple 100 other people.
Stand aside.
He squeezed out the window. I'll put an APB out on him.
Why would we do that? He won the fight fair and square.
To prevent him from getting clipped. He was paid to flop. There was big money riding on this
So are we
fight.
here because you lost money, or because we're investigating a prize-fighting racket?
Very funny. Look around and see what you can find. Which is Hammond's locker?
Over by the pinboard, second from the end.
There's a phone number we can run by R&I, plus a bunch of names and odds. You're not the only one who likes a flutter, Roy.
Probably nothing.
You look troubled.
I'm in a jam, Doctor.
Can I help, Courtney? Is it money?
No, Doctor. That's okay. Do I have your professional confidence?
Whatever you say, we'll never leave this room.
I talked some of the guys in my old unit into doing something, and it's gone wrong. I guess I did it for the wrong reasons, for short-term gain. We came home from China on the Cool Bridge.
The morphine robbery.
That was us. I thought I could get the guys a fair share. Some sort of benefit for the sacrifices that they made in the war. Those guys deserve it, Doctor.
Oh, I'm sure they do, Courtney. But the deserving aren't always rewarded.
Tell me about it, Doc. We shifted our stuff onto this mob-connected guy, and it's been turning up all over town. It wasn't meant to be like this.
The presumption was rather naive, Courtney.
I know that now, Doctor. But people are dying.
Might I venture a few questions?
Sure.
Do your underworld contacts have all the morphine?
No, they don't. We doled it out, hoping we could control it.
Are they pressing you for further allocation?
That's the polite way of putting it, Doctor.
I may be able to help you, Courtney.
Thanks, Doc. It helps just to talk about it.
I mean, I have a solution that will help you financially and salve your conscience.
I'm all ears, Doctor.
I will transact to take all the narcotic off your hands. You can rest assured that it will all be medically administered. I will use the funds that I no longer require for the purchase of medication and invest them in housing developments.
Housing?
The developments in question are housing projects for former servicemen. Your return will come from the sale of the properties, and your investment will benefit those that you care for most. Does this arrangement meet with your approval?
You're a magician, Doctor.
You better find that cocksucker and you bring him to me.
I feel bad too, Mickey. He guaranteed me he would take the flop.
I guarantee that you will be fish food if you don't bring me... Roy, you out of pocket too?
Mickey? Seems that way.
Don't worry about it. My boys are out looking for him.
Well, you'd better call them off. This is a police matter now. If anything happens to Hammond, I'll testify that you made threats against him.
Who's the Greyhound? He's a frisky one, isn't he?
Cole Phelps? Mickey Cohen.
I know who he is, Roy. I, met his brother-in-law.
I think you had the mixture pretty scared back there.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address for the following phone number. AL345.
The address for the phone number is the Hotel L.A Noire, 6294 Leland Way, Hollywood.
Thanks for your help.
You know the place?
The Clop House. Quarter a night, no questions asked.
You seem to have a pretty cozy relationship with
Look where you're going!
Do I note a hint of reprimand in your tone, Detective? Talking to gangsters comes with the turf. You should try out Mickey's place. He's got a haberdasher's up on Sunset. See if he can get you out of those old man's clothes that you slink around in.
It's a front for his illegal activities.
It is that, but he does carry some very sharp suits.
If it's okay with you, I'll stick with Brooks Brothers.
Yeah, what do you want?
LAPD. We're making inquiries into the whereabouts of an Albert Hammond.
No one here by that name.
You sure?
Sure, I'm sure. This isn't the sort of place where people use their real names. Take a look at the register if you don't believe me.
The women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy.
Okay, so look for prominent Tommies. That should narrow it down.
Hey! Fuck you! I swear, this town is going straight to hell. You got a problem, pal?
Look, you've seen the register. That's all the help I can offer.
You're a real asshole. You know that?
Someone ought to take him home.
Going to church doesn't make you a Christian any more than staying in the garage makes you a car. Early bird gets the worm. Hey, fuck you! This guy's got a screw loose.
The women don't find you handsome? Hey! Fuck you! I swear, this town is going straight to hell. You got a problem, pal?
Winston Churchill, a very patriotic Englishman, is staying in room 207.
The old bulldog. Even at a flop house, Adley can't get out from his shadow.
Who arrested that movie producer? It's about time some of those movies.
Door's unlocked. Looks like he's had a broad up here.
Junk.
He must be heading home. You know, I hope he makes it.
That crooked son of a bitch? No chance.
fighter has plenty of time on his hands between bouts. Does Albert have somebody special? I didn't see anyone in his corner at the fight.
Instaheat. Adrian Black's product of choice. Seems like a lifetime ago.
Candy has expensive taste. Albert has his work cut out for him.
All right, let's go after his girl. See if that gets us any closer. Who's Candy?
Candy Edwards, the lady who filled out this coupon.
You got a problem, pal?
Hammond is over the hill. He's a punching bag for the up-and-comers. Should know his goddamn place.
I think he knows. I think he will.
You're paying for every last scratch.
I think he knows. I think he worked out the place isn't L.A.
He's punching.
This car cost me a fortune, you moron.
He's punchy. His brain's going to mush. Winston Churchill? Give me a break. We need to know which room is Candy's.
Can I help you?
LAPD, ma'am. We're looking for Candy Edwards.
Apartment 7. You take the outside stairs by the parking lot and turn left at the top. You friends of the Italian guy?
Italian guy?
Yeah. Sleazy type? Gave his name as Carlo. I didn't like the look of him, but Candy has some funny friends.
Thanks.
This Candy broad must be as sweet as she sounds. All these gentlemen callers.
Give it up,
Sounds
bitch.
like we're missing all
He's
the
gonna
fun.
fuck
Get in
both
there,
of us,
Phelps.
and you know where he's hiding. Now tell me where he is before I cut you.
Like hitting...
This isn't going to end well for you, friend.
Like hitting...
This isn't going to end well for you, friend.
Out cold, but breathing. Give her a minute and take a look around.
Carlo here seems to have the same friends as Hammond. What are the odds on them all being bookmakers? Nasty weapon.
All the Italians carry them. A real man uses his fists or a gun.
She's leaving town. Scania sails from New York. Single ticket, one way. I guess there isn't a lot for Albert in Ohio. Take a seat, Miss Edwards. We have some questions for you to answer.
Look, I haven't done anything wrong.
Ever? I find that pretty hard to believe.
Can you answer some questions now, Miss Edwards?
Sure, I've had worse. I'll shake it off.
You're leaving town, Miss Edwards?
Yes, I'm going straight home.
You're lying to me. Albert finally won a big fight. I say good luck to him. But you know where he is. Let me help him, Candy.
Do all you cops run off at the mouth? Prove I know where he is. I don't know where he is, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Do the names Harry, Mervyn, or Ray mean anything to you?
Could be anybody. How the hell would I know?
Your friend Carlo seems to be looking for them, too.
Carlo is no friend of mine. He was no friend of Albert's either.
We're trying to track down Albert Hammond. We have reason to believe he might be in danger. Do you know where he is?
No, I don't. I'm over Albert. I haven't seen him.
Save it for the suckers, Candy. Albert won big. He may not have told you, but you don't strike me as the type who leaves town when there's money to be had.
Call me anything you like, Flatfoot. I'm done with this burg and all the cheap chiselers who live here.
We'll get out of your way, Candy. We know you're a busy lady.
Like I said, I've done nothing wrong.
The LAPD expects a little more cooperation. You'd better watch your back, sister. Get out, Carlo, you hump. And get rid of that pig sticker. You ever pull that thing on me, I'll shoot you like a dog.
That bitch knows where Hammond is. She knows where my money's gone.
My money too, tough guy. I'll handle this. Bad people are looking to hurt Candy, and yet she's not heading straight for the train station? I smell a payoff. I say stake her out. See where she goes. Tail this broad. Don't let her get away, but don't get spotted. I'll bring up the car behind you.
bookmaker?
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
The cop they
A blonde woman just came in here.
Want another
She went out the back way. Said she was being watched.
How much did she collect?
$3,600. She cleaned me out.
On the Hammond Kid Galahad fight?
You got it. I'm not complaining. We all made a lot of money on that one. Huge plunge on Galahad, and then Hammond knocks the bum out.
So she collected the money and went out through the back door?
Nope. She made a phone call over there, wrote something on a notepad, and then left.
What are you doing?
An old intelligence trick from the Marines. We know where she's headed. Let's get moving.
You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
You drive. I need to go over the case note.
Hammond backed himself to win.
And Candy is picking up the winnings. Smart play.
Question is Candy collecting on Albert's behalf, or is she cheating him too?
Car 11K11 King, further to your request, Bumco Fraud has 3 known bookmakers operating out of storefronts in the Hollywood area. Thrifty Liquor, 6106 Santa Monica, the Examiner Drugstore, and a Max Spirits at 1658 North Cherokee. KGPL clear.
Good no.
Detectives Phelps and Earl, LAPD.
Relax, Cole. You just have a blonde in here, Mervyn?
Sure did. I'm just about to close up. She took me to the cleaners. 4,000 clams and change.
How long ago did she leave?
Maybe 5 minutes. Called a cab. Asked for a number. I told her there was a card over there by the phone.
Yellow cab. We need to get after her, fast.
Can you connect me to the Yellow Cab Company, Hollywood 2187, please? This is Detective Phelps, LAPD. You dispatched a cab to 1487 Ivar Avenue, Hollywood?
Yes, sir. Said 1 round from the pool.
Do you have the number of that cab?
Number 179.
Thanks.
You're behind the wheel.
We're done playing around. Get Mervyn to give us an address on Ray's place.
Isn't that the couple? What?
This broad's planning on cleaning out every bookmaker in town.
Hammond needed to make sure he was getting a bigger pay. Son of a bitch! You know the way. You can drive. Can you drive to this one?
Never trust the limeys, especially where a fight's concerned. A mistake we can't seem to stop making.
That's the cab waiting up ahead. She's not in the car. Don't get too close. She must be inside. We're on the move again, Cole. After her. Don't lose that cab. Now would be a bad time to forget how to drive.
How many stops is she gonna make?
Whoa, back off before we get made. Shit, better drop back, Cole.
Hammond is full of himself, being this sure he was gonna win.
Can you quit driving like a jackass already? That's it. We're spotted. Back off. Back off. Pull over. She's heading inside. I think I just saw Hammond. I'll tail him. You get in there and stay with Candy. Make sure you don't let her see you.
What the hell?
That broad has socks in it, Brazier. Isn't he the cop who won a medal in solving all the cases?
God damn!
I could save all year and not be able to afford that. Call an ambulance.
Hammond got away.
Just try and sit still, Candy. Who shot you? Was it Albert?
Car.
They're on the way. I have a patrolman searching the depot. The chief's putting together a manhunt for Hammond. He got the money, right?
Looks like it.
A tough bird, our limey friend. Using his girlfriend as the bag woman and then getting greedy over the split. He won't make it out of town.
That's how you see it?
I told you that cocksucker was a crook.
.32 caliber. One shot fired. The Egyptian Theater.
So, what now?
The theater, I guess. We don't have much else to go on. You can drive.
Poor girl. She didn't deserve that.
Poor girl. Half the precinct aren't taking a vacation this year because of her. You need to leave town a lot quicker than that if you decide to screw over Mickey C.
And so, Murmur. And pretty much, she turned out to be a double bitch.
This seems like a long shot. Aren't they all?
Car 11K, Car 11 King, come in.
Car 11 King.
Message from the coroner. The cause of death was a knife wound. I repeat, a knife wound. The revolver appears to have belonged to the victim.
Son of a bitch. He stabbed her.
I thought you said real men use their fists, not guns.
That guinea cocksucker. You think he got the money, too?
Come on, Roy. We're bringing this whole tragedy to its conclusion.
Why'd you kill her, Carlo? Your gripe was with me.
She was collecting the money for you. Mickey made it clear it was either me or you, and I intend to keep on living.
She stole those betting slips. She was running out on me.
And you were going to let her?
No, I let her collect. I set her up, just like she set me up. Just like my manager set me up. Everyone wanted me to take the dive. Everyone wanted me to take the short money. It's for the best, kid.
You were washed up, kid! You couldn't climb, and you were too brave to sink. You were going nowhere!
Maybe, but I had heart. I was a Royal Marine, Carlo. If I lost a fight, it wasn't for lack of trying, and it wasn't for lack of courage. I didn't have much, but I had that.
I did it for you, and that's how you repay me!
You did it for yourself. So did little boy. You did it to make a quick buck. And Candy did it to make her dream come true.
Blah, blah, blah. I've got the money. All I need to do is get rid of you. It's going to be a shame, kid, but that's business.
We've heard enough, Arcaro. Put down your weapon.
You're making a big mistake, Arcaro. Kill a cop, and it's the 11th.
Come on, Cole. Carlo's a dead man. Hammond, too, when I find him.
Where are you? You limey cocksucker.
Put the weapon down now.
You're clear. Go. You're covered, Phelps. Move, I got you. You're clear, go.
It's time to come out now, Hammond. Put the gun down, Roy.
That son of a bitch owes me a lot of money.
Catch. Escania sails from New York, Hammond. Be on the next train and don't ever come back.
Why?
Because I was a Marine and I once lacked courage. Everyone deserves a second chance. Now beat it.
Fuck you! That English prick is getting away with my money, Phelps.
I'm hearing rumors of a fight that was fixed, of gangsters looking to get square, that LAPD cops might be involved. Either of you two sons of bitches know anything about that?
No, sir.
So, the dead wop who turned up in this theater, who used to be a boxing manager, who murdered Candy Edwards, has nothing to do with the fix?
Absolutely not.
Earl, you're doing venereal disease citations until you can learn to stop lying to me. Phelps, got anything to add?
No, sir.
Get your uniform from your locker. You're back on the street.
I don't give a shit.
187 at 5810 Murata Avenue. Homicide wants you over there. The coroner thinks the broad was whacked using the Army morphine. Don't say anything, Roy. Just get over there.
What's with that getup of yours anyway? I should start introducing us as Detective Earl, and this is my science teacher, Mr. Phelps.
Your interest in my appearance is starting to get me worrying.
Like it or not, we're a dysfunctional couple now. People judge me with you on my arm same way they would a fat broad with a 5 o'clock shadow.
I really hope you're joking, Roy.
Seem distracted. We recovered the morphine. Some of it might be unaccounted for, so what? That's life. We did our job.
Closing one case opens another.
Do you have any idea what is really going on while we're wasting our time following this stuff?
Are you going to tell me?
The deals being done right now will change the face of L.A. forever, and we're wasting our time on some hunk.
Someone's little girl.
Visit the morgue at the end of the month when the John and Jane Does are cremated. Their percentages. The odds...
Any unit in the vicinity of 211 in progress at 3rd and Union. Stand by for further unit to handle. Identify.
You idiot!
You know the way. You can drive. You're behind the wheel. You know the way. You can drive.
Sorry, picture. He worked that case with the lady cut up like that.
You can drive.
Second floor. Apartment 6. In the back.
Thanks. Bukowski, you made homicide.
That I did. Good to see you, Phelps.
You two want a hug? Or can we get on?
Relax, Rusty.
26 years old, fashion model. Found in the tub by the cleaning lady, Mrs. Reynoldson. She called it in.
We heard Carruthers thinks...
Carruthers likes to make work for people. Overdose of sleeping pills. Falls asleep in the tub. Rest in peace. Case closed.
Here, here. Mal is 100% that it's murder.
Do you mind if I take a look around?
Sure. Go right ahead.
Not much help.
Mal, we've had a look around. Rusty thinks it's a waste of time. What's your theory?
Come on, Mal. Tell us why we were dragged down here.
If the victim was alive when she entered the tub, water would have entered her lungs. The water is violently churned in the windpipe as she drowns. The result is that a lot of foam is generated. This foam is found at the mouth and nostrils in almost all cases of real drowning. Notice anything about our victim?
May I took a look?
Be my guest.
Take a closer look at her head and neck.
The neck is bruised pretty badly. Bruising on the forearms, and these look like bite marks.
Very good.
Very unusual ring.
Could be wrong, but it looks like a black sapphire. Eyes are a classic sign of morphine, and the bruises tell their own story. I think one man held her down, and another held her arm and injected her. They put her in the bath to try to cover it as a drowning.
It spread a trail of barbiturates.
Take a look around outside on your way out and see if you can find the syrettes. It would make my theory.
The morphine would have been very quick, and there wouldn't have been much of a struggle.
Okay, so find two guys who recently bought syrettes and weren't junkies. You might be onto something.
I don't think so.
So she ran herself a bath and down some hills, and then she just drifted off.
I don't know. Miss Julie, she always had so much fire. So much drive.
This is all top end of town stuff. Gives us somewhere to look.
They're there. It's okay.
Beautiful girl. Clothes certainly aren't from the Sears catalog. It's been a modeling assignment. It's a place to start.
Yeah, I'm still playing that shit.
Looks like barbiturates. Barbiturates. What else is rattling around in this thing? Quality English smoking jacket. I don't know anyone under 45 who would wear one.
Huh.
I'm Detective Phelps. I'm here to try and help Julia. Do you mind answering some questions?
Virginia Reynoldson, I'm just so shocked. I feel like there's something I should be doing, someone I should call.
We can make those calls, ma'am. Who needs to be notified?
That's just it. I don't know. Miss Julie doesn't have any family in town. Someone has to set her affairs in order. Mr. Henderson, maybe? Who else is there? I don't know.
If you give the details to the other detectives, ma'am, they can try and get in contact. What was it like working for Miss Randall?
Perfectly fine, officer.
Do you do the housekeeping on a regular basis?
Twice a week since Miss Julie moved here from New York.
Did Miss Randall have many friends visit?
I'm not sure. I only come around twice a week.
But you cleaned up after parties.
Yes, I did. Sometimes beforehand. She was always so glamorous. She had the most beautiful clothes and jewelry. She could be hard, Miss Julie.
Was Miss Randall depressed about something? Upset?
No more than normal.
What are you hiding here, Mrs. Reynoldson? Julia was obviously disturbed about something.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
She was taking barbiturates. She couldn't sleep. You must have seen them in her room.
You've seen the pillbox, the things she hid in there. I don't know how she supported herself. Always new clothes and jewelry. She lived like a movie star. A princess. Does modeling really pay that well?
Thanks, Mrs. Reynoldson. You've been very helpful. One of the other detectives will take your statement, and then you can go home.
Hmm.
Can you drive to this one? You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Shit. So, they're probably towing, or somebody trying to figure out what the fuck that game is. Yeah, L.A Noire.
Well, hello. What can I help you with today?
LAPD, ma'am.
I hope I haven't done anything wrong.
No, ma'am. We're making some inquiries about Julia Randall. Does she work here?
No, I had to let her go. Is she in some sort of trouble?
She was found dead this morning. How long had Julia worked as a model?
Well, she worked in New York before coming here. She was a very beautiful girl.
Could you tell us why you let Miss Randall go?
Husbands sometimes come in here with their wives. When Julia Randall modeled, the husbands were often more interested in her than they were their wives' dresses. Their wives weren't happy, and neither was I.
Did she have any close friends here?
Actually, yes. Heather Swanson. Would you like to speak with her?
I'd like that very much. Please don't inform her about Miss Randall's death.
Very well, officer. Heather, these gentlemen are from the LAPD.
I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. I understand that you worked with Julia Randall, Miss Swanson?
Yes. Julia helped me get my job here. She's not in any kind of trouble, is she?
She's a hellraiser, isn't she? Lives a fast life.
Oh, no. Maybe Mrs. Stanley would call her that, but I wouldn't. She's full of life, full of wonderful company.
That's a lovely engagement ring.
Do you like it? Henry gave it to me.
I'm very interested in engagement rings. Do you mind if I take a closer look? That's some pearl, Miss Swanson. Would have cost Henry a fortune. He must really love you. How did you meet Julia?
I was introduced to my fiancé, Henry Arnett.
Henry is your beau. Tell us about it.
Yes, he is. Henry has a fashion business. He and Julia have been friends for years.
Are Miss Randall and Mr. Henderson engaged?
Who's he?
Julia was kept by this Henderson character. The apartment, clothes, the jewelry. Was she a call girl?
How would I know? What evidence is there that says that Julia is a prostitute? If Julia is hard, it's because of her background. To put it politely, she's quite poor. But a call girl? I think that that's ridiculous, quite frankly.
That's all for now, Miss Swanson. Could you ask your fiancé to visit Hollywood Police Station? It would be very helpful to our inquiry.
Now, wait a moment. I don't think I'll pass on that message until you tell me why you're asking all these questions.
Julia Randall was found dead this morning.
Oh, no. Oh, I can't believe it. She was so full of life.
You're behind the wheel.
All right, where to?
You can drive.
Nice move not telling old Sweet Lips in there about her friend taking the big jump till we were half out the door. Very slick.
I figured we'd get more out of her that way.
You're learning, Phelps. We'll make a vice cop out of you yet.
Don't think this is any use to us. It doesn't appear to be connected. Doesn't tell me anything.
Hope you meant something here.
Not sure this means much.
Speak to her doctor. Prescribing both drugs would make her life a roller coaster.
Okay.
Stefan, Rusty, we'll take a look around outside and then follow up these leads. Can you get some guys to run down the jacket?
You think Carruthers has called it right?
He rarely gets it wrong.
I don't know. I'm with Galloway. I've met enough girls in my time who can't handle their dope.
That case of that poor lady killed near City Hall.
You know the way. You can drive.
Bukowski, Galloway, quite the little reunion in there. Almost brought a tear to my eye.
They're good police.
How would you know? You got promoted so fast you barely had time to learn their names. Let me fill you in. Bukowski's a pushover. Galloway's a drunk.
You could learn a thing or two from both of them.
Please. They couldn't work a vice case if their life depended on it.
I don't see why they'd be any better or worse at it than me.
I noticed you said better. Hubris disguised as humility. Kind of your trademark, don't you think?
Why do you always twist everything? Galloway's got nothing to prove. He's been on homicide for years.
And he's welcome to it. You're a terrier, Phelps, and that's what I need. Not some old bulldog who can't get up a flight of stairs without coughing up his lunch.
Damn. So, pretty much, it's all old bastard.
I swear, if we locked up every doctor in this town, Vice would be able to work half days.
Here, Stoneman, office 505.
Yes, sir, your name?
LAPD. We'd like to see Dr. Stoneman.
Dr. Stoneman is with a patient. Would you like to wait?
No, we wouldn't. Tell him we want to see him now.
There's no need to be rude.
Save it, sister.
Dr. Stoneman, I have some gentlemen from the LAPD here to see you.
Send them in, please. I'll see this patient again after they've left.
Dr. Stoneman, we are investigating the death of one of your patients, Julia Randall.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Do you mind if we ask you some questions about Ms. Randall?
Not if it doesn't compromise doctor-patient privilege, Detective.
How well did you know Miss Randall?
Fairly at all. She'd only been a patient 6 months or so.
She was disturbed, though.
Not in the conventional sense. She had trouble sleeping.
You wrote Julia Randall a prescription for Benzedrine. How can you account for that?
Miss Randall was in the fashion business. She wanted to control her weight.
Benzedrine is addictive, as I'm sure you know, Doctor.
As I warned her, but she was determined. She said she needed it to control her appetite.
Sounds like you knew her pretty well.
I knew the line of work she was involved in.
That'll be all for now, Dr. Stoneman. We'll be in touch. Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Messages for me, please.
Yes, Detective. The coroner's been asking to speak to you. I can connect the call if you like.
Please, thank you. Al?
Cole, can you get over here? I just finished the autopsy.
Sure thing, Mal. We'll be right over.
Shit.
The old boy's lying.
About what?
I don't know. He looked relieved when you said she was dead. That's a strange reaction to have to the death of a young patient.
You can drive.
Have you noticed how croakers only pull out the physician-patient privilege card when they got something to hide?
There are certain things people have a right to keep private.
Until it gets in the way of police work. And it's only private when it suits them. A couple of drinks and every doctor I've met will spill your darkest secrets in a heartbeat.
I believe that one.
Accommodation.
Cole, Roy, I have some information for you.
You're the only person enjoying this, Mal. Get on with it.
The bruising confirms 2 sets of hands, so we have 2 killers. Death was caused by heart failure due to an overdose of morphine.
Have you dragged us down here to gloat? We already heard your theory.
We agree that she was murdered.
Yes, of course.
I have something else to show you.
All right, Mal, what gives?
The dead guy's name is Jimmy LeBlanc, career burglar. He came in this morning. Someone stove his head in with a lump of 2x4.
So what? Good riddance.
I found 2 cigarettes in his jacket pocket.
Wow.
Hang on a minute, Roy. We're listening now.
No sign of morphine use and no metabolized morphine in his blood. Scratch marks on his face.
Which could be from getting his head remodeled.
Time of death, Mal.
Maybe an hour or 2 after the Randall girl.
So you're saying Laughing Boy here could be one of our killers? That's a hell of a long shot.
Thanks, Mal. We'll check it out.
I found something else.
Sorry, I don't play.
I don't know if it's significant. His wallet was empty. The only other things he was carrying were the harmonica and the morphine. Carruthers. Yeah, he's here. I'll send him over. They have a guy called Henry Arnett in interview 2 for you next door. Let me know how you get on.
Sure, Mal. And thanks for the lead.
Sure, Mal. Thanks for the lead.
Mr. Arnett, I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. Thanks for coming in.
Call me Henry. It's the least I could do. Terrible news about Julia.
How well did you know Julia Randall?
Vaguely. I'm in the clothing business, and Julia occasionally modeled
Come clean with us, Arnett. Was Miss Randall your mistress? Is that how she could afford such a lavish lifestyle?
That's a ridiculous allegation. How could you possibly prove that I paid for Julia's things? We were strictly business. Julia and I came from different social backgrounds.
Miss Randall's landlady said she was seeing an older man.
Could have been. I wasn't privy to all the details of Julia's private life.
So you don't have a name? Someone we can follow up on?
No, I don't. Really? That's everything you need?
Want to arrest the kid?
I have more for you, Detective. I'm sure of it.
Ever heard of a Jimmy LeBlanc?
No. Should I have? Is he an entertainer or something?
So you wouldn't have any reason to believe that LeBlanc would be involved in Julie Randall's murder?
If this guy is a criminal, he might have been involved. But, like I said, I've never heard of this LeBlanc character.
Heather told us that you were in fashion.
That's right.
Some kind of traveling salesman?
Once I got out of the Corps, I used my...
You were in the Marines?
Sure. I'm proud of it. Fighting 6th.
You were in the 6th Marines?
Yes. I was a captain.
Which company?
Various companies. We had a lot of casualties.
Which engagements?
Okinawa. A couple of other places.
That will be all for now, Henry. You've been very helpful.
That son of a bitch was never in the Marines. Why'd you let him off the hook?
Because we're giving him a couple of minutes before we start tailing him. Arnett is an amateur. We need to find out who killed the girl. Can you pass this on to Alfie? Have him check the place out and go through his records.
Sure, I'll pass it on.
Thanks. Can you also have R&I run the records on a Jimmy LeBlanc and find out who was his last arresting officer? Have them get in touch via KGPL when they have some information.
He's in that car at the lights.
He was squirming like a worm in there. Don't you love it when they pull the war hero excuse? Actually, maybe you don't.
You got a pretty funny idea of what keeping a low profile means.
I'd have expected a cad like Arnett to be a better liar.
Damn it, we got pinged. He's off, quick. Too close, Phelps. Way too close.
Where are you taking us, Henry?
So I fucked up. Oh, man. Damn my stomach.
That son of a bitch was never in the Marines. Why'd you let him off the hook?
Because we're giving him a couple of minutes before we start tailing him. Arnett is an amateur. We need to find out who killed the girl. Can you pass this on to Bukowski? Have him check the place out and go through his records.
Sure, I'll pass it on.
Thanks. Can you also have R&I run the records on a Jimmy LeBlanc and find out who was his last arresting officer? Have them get in touch via KGPL when they have some information.
He's in that car at the lights.
He was squirming like a worm in there. Don't you love it when they pull the war hero excuse? Actually, maybe you don't.
God damn it. Everyone's looking at us, Cole.
I'd have expected a cad like Arnett to be a better liar.
Are you trying to blow our cover? Where are you taking us, Henry?
Sorry about that, guys.
Never stepped foot in Okinawa. Money and fast. Get in there and find out what he pawned. I'll stick with him, see how he intends to spend the money. Move in. Can't risk losing the trail.
Hoof it, Phelps. I'll bring the car around when I'm done here.
What are you doing?
money and fast. Get in there and find out what he pawned. I'll stick with him, see how he intends to spend the money. Too much slack. Gotta get closer.
Hoof it, Phelps. I'll bring the car around when I'm done here.
He needs money and fast. Get in there and find out what he pawned. I'll stick with him, see how he intends to spend the money. Move in. Can't risk losing the trail.
Hoof it, Phelps. I'll bring the car around when I'm done here.
Too much slack. Gotta get closer. Move in. Can't risk losing the trail. Too much slack. Gotta get closer.
What are you doing?
I'll skip it. Yeah, I'm still playing this shit.
That's right, Mexico City. One-way ticket, please. Next available seat.
That would be 1 day from now. Is that okay?
It's going to have to be.
LAPD, the man who just came in here, he bought a ticket?
Yes, sir. To Mexico City, tomorrow night.
If you hear from him again, don't mention this conversation.
What have you got?
He bought a ticket from Mexico City. Tomorrow night.
That's good. But this is better.
Oh my God. It's Fabergé.
Should have seen the look on the pawnbroker's face when I told him to hand it over.
The guy who owned the joint thought it was worth at least 10 large for a cigarette case. Arnett only got 600 clams.
Car 11K, 11 King, come in.
Go ahead, KGPL.
11K, go to Hollywood Station. Homicide detectives Bukowski and Galloway have information relating to the Randall case.
Roger, KGPL. 11K, en route.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Any luck with the arrest record check on Jimmy LeBlanc?
Yes, Detective. Jimmy LeBlanc's last arresting officer was Patrolman Fred Wallace. He's posted the Hollywood 9th Beat Sunset Boulevard between Gordon and Wilcox.
Thanks.
Okay.
Can you drive to this one?
A one-way ticket to Mexico. Old Henry's looking as guilty as a dog next to a pile of dog shit.
What's his motive?
I can think of a few, but I'd put my money south of the belt. One guy plus 2 dames always equals problems.
Sir, I need the contraband list. Items stolen over the last year.
Hang on, I'll dig out a copy. Here you go.
Thanks.
Is the cigarette case on there?
Even the engagement ring was purloined. Arnett is a cad. Seems Julia wasn't the first bored society girl to hide her bennies in that pillbox. It's here. Arnett must be out of his mind trying to move this while under a murder cloud. You can drive.
Give him a hand.
Right behind you, Wallace. Detective Phelps.
Wallace, go left. I'm going right after this little prick in the alley.
ground, now!
As soon as he pokes his head up.
You're clear. Go.
Pile in, goddammit!
Thanks. Outstanding warrant, armed robbery. Knocked over a drugstore back there, and it looks like he brought his whole posse with him. Bad luck for them.
They're all yours now. We need some information.
Ever heard of a burglar goes by the name of Jimmy LeBlanc?
Sure. We nabbed Jimmy on a burglary beef a couple of years back. They cut through a music shop and into a jewelry store. He got 4 years. I missed his partner, though.
His partner?
Big guy. I had him cornered, and he picked up this huge display case and threw it out a plate glass window. Then he vaulted out of there like something out of Barnum and Bailey.
Got away.
I would have had him, except for LeBlanc yelling, "Run for it, Willie!"
And you think he was an acrobat of some sort?
More like a strongman, a wrestler, or a boxer, that kind of thing.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
You haven't done too badly yourself.
You're behind the wheel.
Where are we going?
You can drive.
You're suggesting LeBlanc is still working with Willie?
A strong man held down Randall while someone administered the morphine. Someone with muscle opened up LeBlanc's skull. Could be.
Nice house.
LAPD, ma'am. Is Mrs. Eavestrom in?
She is. Would you follow me, sir?
I am Mrs. Eavestrom. How may I help you?
You appear to have recovered some stolen goods that belong to you, ma'am.
Yes, of course. That terrible burglary. Would you like something to drink?
No, thank you, ma'am. We have some questions, if you don't mind.
Why would I mind, young man, if you are returning 43 pieces of my property?
Okay, before we get down to that, I'll have a scotch. Thanks, straight up.
Maria, can you get the detective a drink, please?
Can you describe to us what was stolen?
It would be easier to describe what wasn't stolen, detective. A priceless tiara that has been in the family for 50 years. A Fabergé cigarette case that was worth $25,000.
We recovered a black sapphire ring.
A beautiful piece. It belongs to my daughter.
What can you tell us about the burglary?
A terrible night. At least a year ago. But let's not go into that. Let's talk about what you've recovered.
Were you in the house when the burglary took place?
Good heavens, no. I was at a social function held by a Dr. Harold Stoneman and his lovely wife. I returned home and all of my things were missing.
That's about it for now, Mrs. Eavestrom. The department will get in touch and let you know how you can recover your valuables.
You've only mentioned a few of the items that have been stolen, Detective. What else has been recovered?
You see, Phelps? That's why you get the drinks in early.
Hello, Mother. Hello, detectives. What is going on?
We'd like to ask exactly the same question.
You have met my daughter?
This morning at work. Oh, mother and father divorced. I took my father's name.
The detectives recovered some of the things that were stolen, darling.
Well, what did you find?
A sapphire ring on the corpse of Julia Randall.
What are you talking about?
Your engagement ring, Miss Swanson. Would you be surprised to know that it was part of the proceeds of a burglary?
That's an outrageous allegation.
Yes, it is. I suggest we go straight to Henry Arnett's place and sort this mess out.
What's wrong with you?
We're missing something here. Arnett is obviously arranging the burglaries.
That's my fiancé you're making scurrilous accusations about.
And Randall was obviously his partner.
But neither of them are the type to creep apartments.
You're being ridiculous. Both of you. There's a very good explanation for all of this.
Put a sock in it, sister.
Look out!
Put a sock in it, sister. You're being played for a patsy and you're not even smart enough.
Come on, sister. Let's find out who your fiancé really is.
Welcome, sir. I'm sorry, are you a resident?
LAPD detectives. We're here to speak to Henry Arnett.
Oh, Mr. Arnett? Apartment 30. You can take the lift.
Thank you.
Well, isn't this just nice and awkward?
Stop!
Don't
LAPD!
kill him, Cole. This guy's our case.
Go on,
Put
get
your
out,
hands in the air! Give it up, LAPD! Don't make me chase you!
Looks like he got you good, Phelps.
Yeah, he really packs a wallop. How did I get back here?
Under your own steam, miraculously. He came in through the window, said hello, and then keeled over.
How was Arnett?
He's coming around, too. He's all hopped up. Good time to get some answers.
You missing something, Henry?
You told Heather you're honeymooning without her? Vacheron Constantine. That's an extremely expensive watch, Henry.
A graduation present from my parents.
We know all about the jewelry ring. You and Randall and LeBlanc and Willie doing the legwork.
I'm in the fashion business.
Miss Swanson might be gullible enough to believe your story, Arnett, but I'm not buying. You're involved in a burglary scam, and so was Julie Randall.
I'm a legitimate businessman. I can't speak for Julia.
Who is Henderson, and what is his involvement?
Tell them what you know, Henry. I'll stand by you if you'll only tell the truth.
There is no Henderson.
Give it up, Arnett. You're facing the gas chamber. Give the judge some reason to commute.
You still don't get it, do you? Julia entrapped everyone. She was so beautiful. So goddamn cold.
Why did Reed and LeBlanc kill Julia Randall?
I wanted to stop, to get out of that life. I was going to marry Heather and she'd have me. Julia told the others that they were out. That she was going to create a new gang.
You're lying, Arnett. I think you ordered them to kill her. It was made to look like suicide, and when the coroner saw through that, you knew it was time to run.
I told you I was involved in the burglaries. I had nothing to do with Julia's death. Why would I need to run?
Have you told Miss Swanson that you're leaving for Mexico City tomorrow night? That it's a one-way ticket?
Henry? Tell me it isn't true.
I had no choice. I wanted to marry Heather. I told Julia I wanted out, and she laughed in my face. I had to pay Willie and Jimmy a fortune to do her, and now I'm completely broke.
What you are, Buster, is under arrest.
Henry Arnett, you are under arrest for burglary and for the murder of Julia Randall.
Henderson is Stoneman, all right? I'm not the guy you want. Go talk to the good doctor.
Oh, we will, knucklehead. Meanwhile, we're fitting you for convict stripes.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes. You know the way. You can drive.
Seems like a nice boy. Putting all those hoodlums in jail.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes. You can drive. Can you drive to this one? I guess the wedding's off.
He only robbed her mother and killed her best friend. Cut the guy some slack.
So how does the doctor fit in?
That's what we're about to find out. Maybe we should ask him to give you a quick once-over. That meathead gave you one hell of a pasting.
I've had worse.
You should have seen yourself staggering back in there like a drunken sailor.
Next time you can take the runner, Roy.
I didn't box in the Marines, though, did I?
I should have never told you that.
Time for the doctor to give us something to make this all better.
Hang on a moment, sister. Tell him it's Henry Arnett. And tell him it's urgent.
I can't do that.
Tell him, or I'll charge you with obstruction of justice.
Doctor, I'm afraid Mr. Arnett is here to see you, and he says it's urgent.
Send him in.
I told you never to come.
Tell us the truth, Doctor.
I'm so glad you came. Prison will be better than insanity, and I'm already half insane with grief. You know that I loved her. I ruined my life for her, and yet I still love her.
Will you testify in court that Arnett and Randall believed robbery?
They organized the robberies. Julie would get the names of the guests attending my wife's parties. No matter how much money I showered upon her, it was never enough. She never really cared for me.
Doctor, I'm afraid you're under arrest.
The practice. You'll call Dr. Gerard. No. Please don't cry. I want to see no one. Not my wife, or my children, nor my friends. I don't want a lawyer. Just lock me up and throw away the key. What have I done?
Didn't see that coming.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
I need an ambulance and the coroner immediately to the offices of Dr. Harold Stoneman, 1646 Ivor Street, Hollywood.
En route, Detective. You have a message. Detective Bukowski says the suspect is named Wilson Willie the Wolf Reed, former wrestler. Last known address is an apartment building at the corner of Hollywood and Vine. Detective Bukowski says to meet them there.
On our way. We have an address for the runner.
Let's try and wrap this up then.
That old boy really felt for that broad.
She was incredibly beautiful.
Would you throw it all away for a woman?
Life has a way of making you pay for your pride.
You're quite the romantic, Phelps. Stick with the percentages. Broken hearts are for chumps.
You're talking from experience.
I certainly am. Oh, I like women as much as the next guy. As long as they're in their place and doing what they're told.
You're behind the wheel.
Solve that big case.
Damn.
He's around here somewhere. A big guy. Neighbors say he always wears basketball shoes and a cream jacket. And get this. Kids around here say he plays the harmonica.
Find a game well and have the commander set up a dragnet. We want the area closed off. We'll take this side of the street.
A harmonica playing wrestler. That's a weird one. Think he knits as well?
Just keep your eyes open and your mouth shut. We don't want him to bolt on us.
Okay, the guy's had enough.
I think his name is Phelps. He brought in that case for that poor lady killed near City Hall.
Wilson Reed, LAPD, give yourself up. Hold it. He's got to be around here somewhere. No place to go unless he grew wings. There he is. Waste the son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch really picked a spot for it up here, didn't he? Julia Randall's folks are flying in from New York tomorrow to claim the body. I saw her on the slab. So perfect. Looked like she was made of porcelain. She really made an impression.
You had that impact on a lot of people.
Christ, it's cold. You guys did good work here today. Roy, I think you should buy your brother officers a drink.
Do you now? That's very generous of you, Lieutenant.
Okay. Alright. After that one, I'm calling it. So, Paul can't hear me. I don't really get two shits.
The whole company is gone, Hank. The Major is dead. We're being overrun. We have to get off of this hill.
That's one of our 50 cals still firing, Cole. The 22nd are still fighting.
It's over, Cole. Looks like you're one of the lucky ones.
Goodbye to your friend Hank, Jack.
He was your friend too, Cole. Is this how you're going to leave him? Are you wounded?
Ah, scratch, Kelso.
Well, get up and get out of that fucking hole. Find a stretcher while you're at it so we can get him out of here.
Who's the senior officer here?
I guess that's you, Cole.
You were up here all night?
Yes, sir.
And your command?
Gone, sir.
Sorry to hear that, son. God damn it, we have beaten these bastards back. It's the beginning of the end, and it was one here. You're a goddamn hero, son. What's your name?
Lieutenant Phelps, sir.
I'm recommending you for the Silver Star, and promoting you to first lieutenant.
Earl Phelps, a shooting at the 111 Club, 6232 Hollywood Boulevard.
Sounds like a homicide beef.
2 of the dead guys caught in the crossfire were carrying Army surplus morphine. Get over there before homicide tramples all over the place.
We already cleared that up.
Judge in Pasadena took the big sleep yesterday. He had a personal stash of 20 cigarettes. Appears we didn't get all of it.
I'm trying to imagine you with a personality.
I want to make a homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that desk.
In the outfit.
Guy gave his wife a tap and say all's fair in love and war.
Sleep. A dead judge. It's not good.
Everyone has their vices. Even you, Phelps.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Parker and Green are going toe-to-toe for the top job. There's a change in the wind.
About time.
This wind will be like a tornado, Phelps. Parker's got a puritanical streak. You never know we'll get swept up in a thing like that.
Homicide guys are already inside.
Bukowski.
Phelps. Back again.
We're here about the morphine.
Over by the bandstand. You can see what's left of the owner, Eddie McGoldrick, 26, former Marine.
I know Eddie McGoldrick. He was a non-com in my old unit.
I'm sorry to hear that, Cole. Waitress said he recently came into some money and bought the club.
Who are the other Vics?
2 musicians, Biddleston and Bowe. And get this, they used to be in a 4-piece, but the trombone player and the drummer OD'd.
Don't tell me. Lamont and Tyree? we've met the rest of the band.
Now they're a no piece.
Do you mind if we take a look around?
Be my guest. You might want a word with the hostess, too. I'll keep her company until you're ready.
Must have pumped a dozen rounds into him. Certainly sends a message.
When you're ready to have a civil conversation, we can try again.
You catch all the good ones, Phelps.
Well maintained, custom case. Someone cared for this instrument. What's that click?
Another day, another dollar. Neat trick. The case must have cost more than the trumpet. We should follow up on the musician angle. He kept his stash close at hand. Another day, another dollar.
Have a new source, or is this coming from what's left in circulation?
Captain wants this one cleared up quick. Let me know how it goes with the dope.
Dozen packs to a carton. 100 cartons or more. Looks like a couple of months' supply. Ma'am, I'm Detective Phelps, Administrative Vice Squad.
Welcome to the 111 Club, Detective. Feels like I've had half the LAPD in here today already.
Any idea who did the shooting?
No idea. It was my day off. If I had been here, honey, I'd be full of holes just like the others.
Well, you must have some thoughts.
We get all types in here, officer.
Tell us about Eddie.
Eddie didn't know a thing about running a nightclub. He came into some money and waltzed in and bought the place. The previous owner thought all his Christmases had come at once.
You're lying. Eddie had enemies. You must have seen them.
They allow you to booze on the job, Detective? It's giving you funny ideas. When you're ready to have a civil conversation, we can try again.
We're trying to find out who's behind this, ma'am. You're not making it any easier.
Well, you're not being much of a gentleman, honey. You boys take care now.
Can you drive to this one?
Take a break, boys.
We would like them to stay, Miss Lickman. We're making inquiries into the recent deaths of 4 musicians.
Since when have the police cared about dead black men?
Good point. We don't. What we care about is 2 tons of Army surplus morphine showing up on the street. If you care about working in this town, you better give me something on Biddleston and Bow, or their knucklehead buddies Tyree and Lamont.
And this is your idea of making inquiries, Untersturmführer?
I've told you 1,000 times about speaking that German gibberish at me, Elsa.
Roy! How about you get a drink while I see to this?
Will you sit down?
Why antagonize him, Elsa? You know what he's capable of.
Ask your questions, head officer. We have work to do.
People are dying of overdoses. If you know anything about it, you need to tell me.
I can't help you.
A lot of cats are into the thing. There's nothing special about your boys.
I'm not looking to arrest users. I'm after the supply.
You just don't get it, do you? Some people can't live without help.
My partner mentioned a couple of names. You recognize them?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't believe you. You knew these men.
And how would you like to prove that, detective? You're out of your depths here, detective, and you're asking the wrong questions of the wrong people. Boys, take 5 minutes, please. I need to have a private word with you, officer. Why do you ask people to risk talking about a subject that could have them jailed?
Drugs are against the law, Elsa.
You're so full of courage. You've never felt ashamed.
This is getting us nowhere.
Do you think you'll win your war against narcotics?
It's not my war. It's against the law. My job is to prosecute the laws of this city.
Do you think you can stop people from needing drugs, Detective?
I'm asking the questions here.
Then why do you come to me with your stupid questions? You know who controls the drugs in this city.
It's not enough to just survive, Elsa. You have to try and make the world a better place.
Brave words. And very noble. But words are just words. Cold facts.
She's right. We need to pay a visit to the mixer.
Cohen? Do you know where to find him?
This time of day? You'll find him holding court at the Mocambo.
He can wait. There's something I need to be sure of. Give me till tomorrow morning.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do, partner.
These people!
Move in. Can't risk losing the trail.
LAPD, we're looking for Mayor Cohen. I believe he has lunch here.
There's not going to be any trouble, is there?
Which table?
Number 3, if you'll follow me.
LAPD, We have some questions
Hi,
regarding...
Mickey. How's it hanging?
Fine. Just fine, Roy. I see you brought Eager Beaver along. Hope he's not going to put the shakes on me again.
Cole Phelps, Mickey Cohen.
Good afternoon.
He has manners. Aren't you a little green for this kid?
Meet Johnny Stompanato, Cole. He has the biggest schlong in Hollywood and the smallest gun. Or maybe that's the other way around. I can never quite remember.
You're a funny guy, Roy. Haven't I always said what a funny guy Roy is? And how much fun it would be to get together with him sometime.
Poor Johnny. He's the dark, sensitive type. He's a serviceman too, Cole. Johnny was in Okinawa.
You were in the crotch?
6th Marines.
The lieutenant who won the Silver Star up on Sugarloaf. I've heard of you.
Something like that.
All right, have we finished flirting? You got something to discuss, Roy? Or are you going to stand around beating the meat while my lunch gets cold?
We have some questions.
Do I need my lawyer?
Your brother-in-law, Lenny Finkelstein, was selling stolen morphine. He had 1/3 of the shipment.
Old news, kid. I don't know anything about what Lenny was up to.
Jack Dragner has you on the run. You're muscling the guys who stole the morphine from the ship.
You calling me a liar, kid? You think you can prove that in court? Huh? Nice try, kid. But you're going to have to do a lot better than that.
We believe there's a link between a group of Marines and the morphine stolen from the SS Coolidge. One of those Marines was shot to death in a club last night.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
So you haven't heard anything about what happened at the 111 Club?
What can I say, kid? I'm shocked that in the land of opportunity, Uncle Sam's finest feel the need to resort to crime. It's a dangerous business. I can attest to that. I'd recommend they get out of the life. Quickly.
A few Negroes saying goodbye on the sidewalk will never make the papers, Mickey. But we had a judge in Pasadena say adios the other day. Prominent white people popping their clogs makes everyone nervous.
You know dope has never been my thing, Roy. It's always been for schmendricks like Jack D. and Jimmy Utley. But I'll ask around and I'll get back to you. Hey, you boys want some lunch? How about a drink?
We'll take a rain check on that. Come on, Cole, we're leaving.
We have to cut that dope. It looks bad with people dying.
We have to get the rest of it. There's no way of watering down the stuff in those little packages. You have to put the squeeze on those guys and get the rest of it.
They don't seem the type to frighten that easy.
We'll see.
We missed something in that mess at the 111. Let's go back.
How well did you know the owner?
Goldrick? Well enough.
So you're the first in the family going without a tail.
You know the way. You can drive. You're behind the wheel.
That's some cruel irony. You survive the war, then get blown to pieces back home.
It happens more than you'd think. Young guys trying to adjust to normal life, getting mixed up in the wrong crowds.
The kid had just bought a nightclub. I'd say he got mixed up in the right crowds.
Until someone filled him full of holes.
You don't come into that kind of money that quickly without pissing a few people off.
We have a new source, or is this coming from what's left in circulation? didn't even try to crack the safe.
Earl Phelps, a shooting at the 111 Club, 6232 Hollywood Boulevard.
Sounds like a homicide beef.
2 of the dead guys caught in the crossfire were carrying Army surplus morphine. Get over there before homicide tramples all over the place.
We already cleared that up.
Judge in Pasadena took the big sleep yesterday. He had a personal stash of 20 cigarettes. Appears we didn't get all of it.
I didn't deserve that.
God damn it. Just can't seem to put this morphine to sleep. A dead judge. It's not good. Everyone has their vices. Even you, Phelps.
So, yeah.
Heavens to Betsy.
You can drive.
Parker and Green are going toe-to-toe for the top job. There's a change in the wind.
About time.
This wind will be like a tornado, Phelps. Parker's got a puritanical streak. You never know we'll get swept up in a thing like that.
Homicide guys are already inside. Bukowski.
Phelps. Back again.
We're here about the morphine.
Over by the bandstand. You can see what's left of the owner, Eddie McGoldrick, 26, former Marine.
I know Eddie McGoldrick. He was a non-com in my old unit.
I'm sorry to hear that, Cole. Waitress said he recently came into some money and bought the club.
Who are the other Vics?
2 musicians, Biddleston and Bowe. And get this, they used to be in a 4-piece, but the trombone player and the drummer OD'd.
Don't tell me. Lamont and Tyree? We've met the rest of the band.
Now they're a no-piece.
Do you mind if we take a look around?
Be my guest. You might want a word with the hostess, too. I'll keep her company until you're ready.
Must have pumped a dozen rounds into him. Certainly sends a message.
Just when I think I've seen it all.
Bad luck, Eddie. Okinawa couldn't kill you, but knowing the wrong people in this city. They didn't even try to crack the safe.
When you're ready to have a civil conversation, we can try again.
Just when I think I've seen it all.
Well-maintained, custom case. Someone cared for this instrument. What's that click? Neat trick. The case must have cost more than the trumpet. He kept his stash close at hand.
Never the same, are they?
We should follow up on the musician angle. We have a new source, or is this coming from what's left in circulation? Never the same. Ma'am, I'm Detective Phelps, Administrative Vice Squad.
Welcome to the 111 Club, Detective. Feels like I've had half the LAPD in here today already.
Tell us about Eddie.
Eddie didn't know a thing about running a nightclub. He came into some money and waltzed in and bought the place. The previous owner thought all his Christmases had come at once.
Where do you think you got the money?
My guess was that he was selling the sort of quality product that you don't need to advertise.
Any idea who did the shooting?
No idea. It was my day off. If I had been here, honey, I'd be full of holes just like the others.
Well, you must have some thoughts.
We get all types in here, officer.
Thank you for your help, ma'am.
Eddie was in over his head, but he was a decent boss.
Army surplus again. Goldrick must have been moving contraband through the club. These look brand new. Never fired. They haven't been degreased yet. We could check on the serial numbers.
Is this guy hunting for bear? Look at these things.
They're BARs. You get the odd guy who sneaks one of them home from the war. How did he get 3 of them? Army surplus morphine, Army surplus weapons, Army surplus valors. Sound familiar?
We should get back to the station and check the details of what exactly was lifted from that ship.
A dozen packs to a carton, 100 cartons or more. Looks like a couple of months' supply. Can you drive to this one?
Somebody gonna tell us what the hell's going on?
You drive. I need to go over the case notes. You can drive. Can you drive to this one? going on?
That fucking rat Stoker has gone public about Brenda.
Who is Brenda?
Brenda is L.A.'s most famous madam.
Everyone knows it?
Of course everyone knows. Brenda pays her way.
Are we cops or a collection agency?
Whores have been around since the Bible. Our job is to keep it off the street so Joe Citizen and his wife can stroll around unmolested.
Then we should change the law.
Are you out of your mind? Every politician in America is against prostitution, except when they're using them.
So where does Stoker come in?
He objects to the LAPD and the administration taking its cut.
Is everyone in on this?
Yeah, and that's the problem. From a little acorn does a large tree grow. He could bring the whole thing crashing down on us.
Aren't you supposed to be working
Sir, do you know which robbery detectives are working the Army surplus theft from the Coolidge?
Caldwell and McManus. I saw Caldwell in the squad room not long ago if you want to speak to him.
Thank you, sir. We'll do that.
This way.
Harry, you got a minute?
Sure, Cole, anytime.
You've been working the docks robbery on the SS Coolidge?
Yeah, that's right.
So how do you see it?
Inside job. Either the guys working the wharves or some of the guys on the ship.
What else was taken apart from the morphine?
Case of BARs, case of Thompsons, crate of Valor smokes.
Homicide just recovered 3 BARs and a mountain of cigarettes at a shooting at the 111 Club.
No kidding. I better get over there.
Do you have a copy of the manifest?
Yeah. Here it is.
So, how do we connect the docks robbery to the mess at the 111 Club?
Enough to arm 3 companies. This is the crate we recovered. 500,000 cigarettes loose on the streets of L.A. Here's our backroom arsenal from the 111 Club. Some of these guys are from my old unit. They must have finally shipped home. Kelso, Sheldon. McGoldrick.
McGoldrick was on the boat?
Sure, we checked him out.
McGoldrick bought the 111 Club, Harry. His brains are all over the bar.
Looks like whoever stole the dope is getting muscled.
By whom?
Dragner or Cohen. They control the hop.
Thanks, Harry. Stay in touch on this.
Strips off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out.
Yeah, I want to make homicide.
Mouthpiece first.
The kid, so I gave him a test.
case was thrown out.
You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed?
You can drive.
How well did you know the owner?
A Goldrick? Well enough. He was in my unit.
That's some cruel irony. You survive the war, then get blown to pieces back home.
It happens more than you'd think. Young guys trying to adjust to normal life, getting mixed up in the wrong crowds.
The kid had just bought a nightclub. I'd say he got mixed up in the right crowds.
Until someone filled him full of holes.
You don't come into that kind of money that quickly without pissing a few people off.
What is the special of the day?
Take a break, boys.
We would like them to stay, Miss Lichtman. We're making inquiries into the recent deaths of 4 musicians.
Since when have the police cared about dead black men?
Good point. We don't. What we care about is 2 tons of Army surplus morphine showing up on the street. If you care about working in this town, you better give me something on Biddleston and Bow, or their knucklehead buddies Tyree and Lamont.
And this is your idea of making inquiries, Untersturmführer?
I've told you 1,000 times about speaking that German gibberish at me, Elsa.
Roy, how about you get a drink while I see to this?
Will you sit down?
Why antagonize him, Elsa? You know what he's capable of.
Ask your questions, Herr Officer. We have work to do.
People are dying of overdoses. If you know anything about it, you need to tell me.
I can't help you.
A lot of cats are into the thing. There's nothing special about your boys.
I'm not looking to arrest users. I'm after the supply.
You just don't get it, do you? Some people can't live without heroin.
My partner mentioned a couple of names. You recognize them?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't believe you. You knew these men.
And how would you like to prove that, detective? You're out of your depth here, detective, and you're asking the wrong questions of the wrong people. Boys, take 5 minutes, please. I need to have a private word with the officer. Why do you ask people to risk talking about a subject that could have them jailed?
Drugs are against the law, Elsa.
And you're so full of courage, you have Never felt ashamed.
This is getting us nowhere.
So, this
I think you'll win your war against narcotics.
It's not my war. It's against the law. My job is to prosecute the laws of this city.
Do you think you can stop people from needing drugs, detective?
I'm asking the questions here.
Then why do you come to me with your stupid questions? You know who controls the drugs in this city.
It's not enough to just survive, Elsa. You have to try and make the world a better place.
Brave words. Very noble. But words are just words.
She's right. We need to pay a visit to the mixer.
Cohen? Do you know where to find him?
This time of day? You'll find him holding court at the Macambo.
He can wait. There's something I need to be sure of. Give me till tomorrow morning.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do, partner.
So, see ya, and I know that that's been a long broadcast, but